resetting after wins? Is it a different mindset resetting after losses, or the same principles?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you look at certain things that's been happening and you deal with it. And we had a good meeting today, and then you worry about the next game. We've reset after each game. Like, each game is our own entity, like a different game. Like, I don't look, hey, last five games, you're like, we're kind of slipping on certain parts of our game. But then you just tackle last game, and then you go for today, how you fix it for tomorrow.
With the grind, can a meeting be as important as getting on the ice today, Rick?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's important that you deal with certain things that have happened, and then your leadership takes over. I think our leadership group's done a great job this year of resetting, good or bad, and I think that's something that we keep growing in that room.
You talk about partnerships. Is that one because you've always valued practice time? You say there's never enough practice time, yet today it wasn't about practice, it was about a different message. Yeah,
I think sometimes you got to be careful because, like we've played a lot of hockey, like a lot of teams, and I think you got to pick and choose. I mean, I'm sure every coach in NHL will say the same thing. When they practice, they play better. Like, we have not practiced a lot, but I also have to worry about the energy level too. You have to make sure the guys have energy tomorrow. It makes no sense to skate guys or the team in general if the energy level's not there. So we got to refocus and get some energy around here.
It's never just one guy, but
yeah.
How much are you finding that you're missing Pius Suter, who had played well for you, but also had found his offensive touch there before he went out? Yeah,
no, he's played really well those last 5-6 games. And he's type of guy where there's 2 or 3 shifts we're getting out, we're getting out of whack, and the other team's, and he can kind of settle us down. It's good to have those type of players. And he's day to day, and hopefully he'll be able to play one of these games.
I don't know how much you want to reveal or will, but like, he practiced fully out at UBC on Tuesday. So did something happen in practice, or was that more of a, like, did he have something nagging already that?
It really came out of the blue. It's after the long flight, really that came, it was, and he actually practiced fine. It was the next, I guess, later that night.
When you get in a game,
yeah,
and the line changes are terrible,
yeah,
and the shifts are long, and there's no back check, and there's no support, how can you stem that within a game? Sometimes it's like a snowball going down the hill. I'm just wondering how you handle that on the bench.
Well, I think what happens is guys are, when the other team makes a push, you want to change it so bad that, I think I can make this play even though I've been out there for 50 seconds, and then the next guy does it, and it's just cumulative. So that's where some line or, somebody has to stop it, stop that ball. And I thought it happened like 3 or 4 shifts in a row. And that's when you get in trouble.
You've got 4 and 6 coming up, Rick.
Yeah.
And rest and recovery is a huge thing in today's game. I'm just wondering, I know the organization's always looking at things. Are you open to that as a head coach, to anything that can help these guys, whether it's recovery, whether it's sleep patterns, anything?
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
We have actually, usually we'll have a presentation on sleep and some stats and hydration and nutrition. We try to give players information all the time. And it's important when you have a rest day that you have an active rest. It doesn't mean you just sit on your couch all day and eat potato chips, right? You got to, whether it's, move your body, go for a walk, maybe pedal the bike. It actually helps your mind too, your energy level too. So I don't like looking at, we got 4 and 6, we're going to be tired. Like, you just got to look about, okay, we got San Jose tomorrow. How do we get back into our identity and our staples? Well, good shifts, chipping the body, like those things, that'll get you back on track if you look at the process other than the results.
Yeah, I'm just curious because, when the Canucks had an elite team and were pushing for the cup, they even wore like sleep monitors because they wanted to ensure that they were playing at a high pace. They were a President's Trophy winning team, but were they ready for the next night? And were they getting a right amount of sleep?
Well, that's the key. I mean, nowadays, a lot of these guys have monitors. Yeah. It's funny, I was talking about, Brock and a couple guys, and I always ask the players, how'd you sleep? And it was nice to hear guys, hey, they got 8-9 hours. That's optimal. If you're getting 8-9 hours, that really helps for tomorrow night against San Jose.
When you played in Pitt and Philly, your trips were like, you're probably in your own bed a lot of night, right?
When you're on the East Coast, you're in bed by 12:30, like 1 o'clock. These are tough. But, like I said, we had those 2 long road trips early in the season and dealt with them pretty well. So maybe, that'll help us in the long run, knocking those long trips away.
Did you feel more as a player when you went to LA?
Yeah, it takes you a while. You got to change. You have to change your little bit of habits.
Sure.
You know, I know for what I did is, and it's the old Michael Jordan, like if you had a long trip out east and got in at 5 o'clock, 5:30, usually guys, you're lying on the plane all day, and then you go to dinner. Usually guys will go to the gym and, you know, work out a little bit. You don't have to go crazy, but, and then you just feel better at dinner, I think, and you sleep better. Yeah. So I think that those things change. Back in the days, guys didn't do that, and I think guys are starting to realize that hey, I got to move my body when I get to the hotel.
Rick, what's the biggest thing you're looking to get this team back to on Monday when you get a chance to kind of nip this 2-game losing streak in the butt?
I would say changes and then turnovers. Like I think there's certain parts of a game when you really need that puck in deep or to make the right play. You know, it's 1-0. You know, like unless it's like I always tell guys, if it's a high risk play, if you make that high risk play, to me it's got to be an empty net or a tap in. It can't be high-risk play to a guy now that he still has to go through another Seattle guy. Like that to me is when I get, you know, I think our staff gets upset. It's like, yeah, it's okay to make a high-risk play, but the next play, it better be in the net or it has to be a great chance. I think sometimes we're making high-risk play, but we still have to go through another layer. You know, that's kind of where we have to kind of meet in the middle on.
What do you think the difference was? You said maybe some fatigue in Calgary, maybe some residual mental fatigue last night for some of those issues?
Yeah, I just thought early on we were throwing pucks in the middle of the ice when we could have indirected it. It was just we were off. And saying that, it was a 2-2 game going into the third period. A couple of breakdowns, a couple of bad changes, or a couple of bad coverages, and it's in your net. So uncharacteristic for I know it's a short sample size, but we've done pretty well this season in limiting those mistakes.
Rick, you guys beat San Jose 10-1. You sort of caught them at the low. I mean, I think they've won 3 of their last 6. Like you expect a much better San Jose team in here.
100%. They're professionals. They got good players. Like I don't care what anybody says. I mean, that 10-1 game is an anomaly. Like that happens once in a blue moon. I've been in part of those games in the past where, you know, we are on the other side. You lose 8-0. Things don't go right. So yeah, we're not taking these guys lightly at all. Trust me.
Resetting after wins, is there any different mindset to trying to reset after a loss or 2 losses?
I think the mindset always needs to be stay the same, where you come in, you look to get better any way you can each and every day. But the last 2, even 3 games, even in a couple wins that we've had, we've slipped a little bit. We've lost a little bit of our, lost some of our staples, and we're not quite playing to, our identity as a group. So we addressed some of the things today, and we just got to get back to it. And like you said, it's a mindset. You got to come ready to play next game and do the things that make us successful.
So it's more of a mental thing than a physical thing?
Yeah, I would say so for sure. Preparation going into the game, having your baseline of the things you need to focus on to make sure you do no matter what's going on. And, we just got to get back to it. There's going to be ups and downs in the season. And, we have to be a team that responds.
With the physical grind, Tyler, is today doing video more important perhaps than being on the ice?
Yeah, maybe. We have a lot of hockey this month. There's no question, but every other team's going through the same thing. It's not, it's the normal grind of the season. There's ways to handle it, ways to make sure you feel good going into each game, and like we kind of talked about, I think it's more mental for us, making sure we prepare the right way.
It's a little less taxing that you're not chasing this year as opposed to last year when if you lose a couple, you feel like getting further behind the 8 ball?
Yeah, it's nice that we put some in the bank here early, but we're also looking to become a team that we envision that we can be, and we still have things to learn and ways to grow, but it's definitely nice to have the start that we've had. We just gotta make sure we keep pushing forward, not get complacent, and keep pushing to play the right way.
You've been so good defensively, Tyler. How do you improve from those cross-seam passes? You don't want Thatch or Casey to have their head on a swivel, backdoor plays, things of that nature. How do you improve in that regard as a defensive unit?
Well, it's team defense. You know, it's the five guys on the ice. It's not just the defense. You know, the decor. You know, the winger position in the defensive zone is just as important as, you know, how we defend as defensemen. And that's an example of what we've got away from a little bit. So we just got to get back to it. You know, watching some of the video that we did today, realizing the things that we need to correct, and we know we can do it. We did it, you know, for a lot to start the season here. We just got to get back to it.
When you get the back pressure, is communication that much easier when you're with your D partner, or just in the zone particularly? You know, if everybody's marked their spot, it's pretty easier to get to actually
sure.
where you need to be.
Yeah, I mean, when we're doing the things that we're supposed to, it makes everyone's life easier. You know, when we're in the right position in the O zone, it allows us, you know, just an example, allows us defensemen to pinch when we can, which makes it harder for the other team to get the puck out of the zone. If we're not in position, we can't pinch. We're, you know, taking odd man rushes and just things like that we have to get more consistent with.
As you get older, per se, how big a part is rest and recovery, Tyler, in terms of how you handle day in, day out stuff, or even a trip, per se?
Very. I think it's important for young guys too. You almost feel like when you're older, you have a much better understanding of how to handle it. You know, I feel that way compared to when I was younger. So I think it's important for all of us to make sure we're doing the things we can to feel our best.
Like sleep deprivation is the worst thing. Did you guys stay over in Montreal, or did you fly back?
We flew back.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I know the team is looking at different things. Would you
Yep.
understand that? How can we stay fresh? How can we make sure we get our rest?
Yeah, I know our strength guys and our sports science guys are they're very much into that kind of thing, and they're, you know, looking at anything we can do to make sure that we're feeling our best going into the next game. So I know they're constantly talking about it, and you know, they'll continue to do that throughout the year.
We always hear that there are no easy games in the NHL. I mean, you guys did have one in San Jose, obviously, but that's sort of the outlier. Is it important just to sort of forget a night like that as you see the Sharks again? I imagine you anticipate you'll see a better San Jose team than you did that night.
Yeah, we don't want to go into tomorrow night thinking it's going to be an easy game, because it's not. It's a game that we need to get back to playing the right way, and if we do, you know, we'll have a lot of success this year. Doesn't matter who we're playing. We gotta, you know, we need to focus on ourselves and the standard that we've set for ourselves, and we just got to get back to it.
I think Rick said that you approached him in Nashville and had a talk with him, and he said your play's really improved since then. Is there something that you've changed about dealing with the coaching staff, or just in your own game, or something over the past 7 or so games for you?
Not really. We had a good talk, and you know, there's just got to keep pushing forward. It's, you know, there's things. There's ups and downs for individuals, as you know, ups and downs for a team. You just gotta, you know, keep pushing forward and make sure that you're focusing on that next game.
You're starting to build more of a, I guess, like a better relationship as it goes on with Adam Foote and Sergei Gonchar, these defensemen that you're able to work with on a daily basis.
I've had a really good relationship with all the coaches since they came in. You know, there was an adjustment period for all of us last year. You know, when they came in and they were trying to implement a lot of new things that we had to learn. But I think all the guys have a really good understanding of what's expected of them, you know, going into games now. And a lot of it now is on us as players to help each other and hold each other accountable when needed. And those are like steps that we're taking to become a better team.